this is my 2018 Silverado. Currently it is sitting at 67,506 miles, and this will be my last update slash review of this truck. Tomorrow I will be selling this to CarMax, who is offering me a very fair number in this current market. If you want to know why, I will make a Patreon only video. I know I swore up and down I'd never do Patreon only, but this is one I don't really want in the public. So like I said, it's at 67,506 miles. I have driven this thing all over the Eastern time zone. I've driven it to Michigan a couple times, driven it to Niagara Falls, Connecticut, Massachusetts, down to Virginia a few times. This thing's been all over the world, or all over the Eastern time zone, and I was hoping to get a few more years out of it. There is nothing wrong with the truck, but like I said, if you want to know the exact reason I'm getting rid of this, in the link below there will be a Patreon link. But in the 67,000 miles, the paint has held up quite well. I take it through a lot of touchless car washes, which is probably not the best way to do it. But the chrome on it has held up, the wheels and tires, well, these are newer tires. And so far I have been pleased with how this truck has held up. The only major issue I had with it is the starter went at like 59,000. And it had to get I had to get a starter replaced, and at least I was able to do that under the extended warranty, and only had to pay like $120 versus the like nearly $500 for the job. And for the most part, all I've done is change the fluids and the filters, and this thing has held up very well. Now let's take a look at the interior. The interior of this truck is actually a very nice place to be. I don't know if it's going to be in shot, but the only real issue I had is the screws for this upper console came out and caused it to drop, so I had to get new screws for that. It has a, don't mind that, or my camera bag, has a nice armrest which has storage, and you can also flip it up into a seat, which also reveals more storage, and that's more stuff I need to clean out. I didn't realize. A bunch of change fell in there. I did not know that. The driving dynamics of this truck is actually pretty good. It handles very well, especially for a four-wheel drive vehicle of its size. It has 5.3 liter with the, what they call the AFM, where it shuts off 4 of the cylinders, and it actually gets pretty good fuel economy. I've gotten as high as 27 miles to the gallon on the highway with it, but have not really had that. That's not common. I usually average between 14 to 20, depending on how and where I drive. The steering wheel is pretty comfortable. Everything, the thing I like about this is everything is laid out in a way that makes sense. You know, a lot of these new cars, their infotainment system is it looks like a cheap Android tablet that's like glued to the face of the dash, and you know, everything's built in here. Everything just looks nice, in my opinion. Like, I'm a truck guy, so this looks pretty decent for a truck, and the sound system is not bad itself either. Let me alright, let me put on a song that will not get me a copyright strike. So So the sound system's not bad either. Usually one of the first things I do when I get a vehicle is rip out all the audio equipment, put in new speakers, put in a new head unit, put in amplifiers. I didn't do any of that with this. Like I said, the comfort zone is actually pretty good in this truck. The sound system's not bad. The whole like, it's pretty responsive. I don't know how much of this you can see with the sun being where it's at, but like everything is responsive. Everything is, you know, everything just actually works. That's not a bad thing. The AC controls are great. The only thing I don't like is you had the four-wheel drive control right here, right above your headlight control. So if you choose to turn on your headlights manually, you could accidentally put it in four-wheel drive. I mean, that's just nitpicking the crap out of it. What you can't see up here, you got your typical sunglass holder up here. The door pockets have plenty of storage. These are the plastic door panels. They're not like the leather and all that. So, you know, this is the LT, but it is a four-wheel drive. This doesn't have heated seats. It just has your basic cloth seats. This seat is power. That seat is manual. And the one thing that's annoying, I don't want to get too personal, but this seat does not move. And if you want to get intimate with a companion, this can be annoying because this seat sits so much higher or so much more forward. But I'm not going to go any more into that. Let's take a look at the back. Okay, so we're in the back seat. One of the things I failed to mention in the front seat is there is a single 12-volt outlet and a single, you know, conventional household plug. Household plug only works when the truck is running. It doesn't even work when the key is just forward. Here you have a single, you know, car charger port. I'm 5'10", and the seat is where I am comfortable up front. As you can see, might not be the most comfortable thing in the world, but as long as I don't have anybody next to me, you know, I can kind of sprawl out, have my legs bent, and be comfortable enough. I think I also failed to mention that there are 3 cup holders in the center console. Up front, there are 2 back here. And, you know, this folds down into a cup holder. These seats also fold up to get out of the way. And you got your typical storage stuff. I found more stuff I need to take in. I'll just put this up here. That's not really part of the review, but I'll leave that in anyway. But yeah, it has your typical carpet. It's, you know, the seats don't recline or anything. It's not like that much of an extended cab. Got your bad word handles. You have 2 lights up here. That I think is from the antenna on the roof. This truck does have rear defrost as well, and it does have the anchor points for a child seat, which was very important when my son was smaller. But all in all, even like you can fit 4 adults and a child very comfortably in this truck. You can probably fit 4 adults and 2 children in the truck if the one is in the middle seat in the front. I've never had anybody ride in here. I actually used this truck for a lift for a period of time, And I told Lyft that it was a 5-passenger vehicle, not 6, because technically this is a 3+3. And I didn't want to put anybody in the middle of the front seat. But you got grab handles here to get in. You have them up on the passenger side up front as well. You got, this handle here. You got all your, well, my key is turned off. But you have your window controls back here, which can be locked from up front. The other thing that's different about this truck is the child safety locks. On a typical vehicle, on the door itself, you have a lever or something you got to turn, and you can do it independently from either door. The child safety locks is actually on the driver's side front window switch panel, and if you turn that on, neither of the back doors open. So that's actually a thing to consider, because like if you have a 2-year-old and a 10-year-old, 10-year-old can very easily open the door, but might not be able to if you have the child safety locks on, because it does both doors at once. I actually found that out by accident. Anything else important in here? Not really. Let's take a look under the hood. So if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you've most likely seen under the hood of this truck before. This is the 5.3 liter. I forget there's like a 2-letter and a number designation, but it's based on the LT architecture, but not the LT from the early 90s like they had in the Corvettes and the Caprices and the Buick Roadmasters. This is a different type of LT architecture, which is kind of based on the LS, but not really. We don't really need to get into all that. But this has I've already mentioned the air fuel, the AFM system, where it shuts off, the air fuel management, where it shuts off 4 cylinders when you're cruising. I have never done anything other than air filter. I've done the throttle body clean. I did the upper cylinder clean, where you need to knock all the carbon out of the off the valves and stuff. It's a whole process, because this has direct injection, where the injector goes directly into the combustion chamber, and then you have your PCV system pulling oil vapors through the throttle body, through the intake, and past the valves. But you no longer have that fuel to wash that oil vapor off the valves. Port injection was a lot better for that, but you can get more power and more fuel economy out of direct injection. You always have a trade-off no matter what you do. And honestly, this truck has been very good on that. So this is the 5.3 with the AFM, also mated to the 6-speed automatic. But this is the 6-speed automatic that has a transmission dipstick, which is important, because some of the newer ones with 6-speed, you can't check the fluid, and those ones are failing. This one is the one that does not fail as commonly. It also has, I forget what the transfer case is, but the final drive is the 342, which enables this truck to pull up to like 9,600 pounds, something like that, and has a gross vehicle weight of 11,400. I have went through the metal recycle yard at 11,200 before, which was quite shocking. Yeah, so this truck definitely is a proven workhorse. And let's take a look at the bed of the truck. There really isn't much to talk about, but let's take a look at it anyway. Before we look at the the actual bed, I want to talk about the towing capacity. So this has, from the factory, the 7-pin and also a 4-pin harness, as well as a trailer hitch that is rated at, I want to say it was 12.5, it might just be 12K even. And then the bed, let me reposition. The bed, there's really nothing special to talk about. It's a 5.5 foot bed, which can be quite limiting, but I have done a lot of work with this truck. I have the trifold tonneau cover. I also had the factory GM bed liner. You have tie down points in the back corners and the front corners, and that's pretty much it. There really isn't a whole heck of a lot to talk about. The one thing I will show you, I will move the camera. This is one thing I'm going to. This is one of the things I'm going to miss. Is the soft open tailgate. When I worked for a company that had a bunch of Colorados that did not have that, I can't tell you how many times I nailed myself in the kneecap with tailgates because I got used to it. But here's a tour of my 67,000 mile Chevy Silverado. It has been a great truck to me. I am sad to see it go, but I gotta do what I got to do. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.